Heart attack deaths have become more common across all age groups since the start of the coronavirus pandemic.
But a recent study found that young people are actually most at risk in this case. According to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, the number of heart attack deaths among 25 to 44-year-olds in the U.S. over the first 2 years of the pandemic was 30% higher than predicted. Dr. Celine Gounder is here on set with us to talk more about it. She's editor-at-large.
Well, this is surprising to say the least. CBS News actually talking about the increase in cardiac arrest, in strokes within young people across this country. I mean, it's something we've been talking about for a while, but all of a sudden CBS is talking about it. I'm shocked. I'm sure you're shocked as well. I can't believe they're actually doing this. When I saw it, I had to rewind and watch it again, because surely they're not reporting on the one thing that they've been trying to ignore all this time. But it seems like they are. Believe it or not, they even brought a real doctor on to explain why this is happening.
For public health at Kaiser Health News, and she is also an infectious disease specialist and epidemiologist and a CBS News medical contributor. Dr. Gounder, thank you for being here. What stood out to you in this study?
I think the fact that you're seeing such a big increase specifically in the youngest age group, so the 25 to 44-year-olds, you saw this 30% increase in the risk of death from heart attack. And that really is quite striking. That's not a group, an age group in which you normally see heart attacks, much less dying from a heart attack.
So to do a study like this, you look at the years prior to the pandemic and the typical rate of heart attack death in that age group, and then you see it increase, and you wonder what's the new variable. And so the pandemic is that new variable?
That's right. So these researchers looked at 10 years of data across the U.S., all the death certificates that get filed with the CDC, that data. And so what they saw is prior to the pandemic, heart attack deaths were actually dropping. And then that trend reverses, and you see those deaths go up, especially among that youngest age group during the pandemic.
And do we know why why younger people might be more at risk? Or
Yeah, Dr. Gander, why are young people more at risk for this illness? It had been dropping in the past, and now all of a sudden, young people are dropping dead. It's a complete 180 in the trend of people that age. You hear about heart attacks and cardiac arrest. I mean, these are older people that this is happening to. People that have lived a full life. Their heart's been through a lot. Not 15, 16, 17-year-old, 20, 25-year-old athletes that are in the best shape of their life, the best shape they'll ever be in, dropping dead from heart attacks. So again, Dr. Gander, tell us what exactly is causing these heart attacks in young people.
We don't know for sure. And in fact, these death certificates are probably not even capturing the fact that they might have had COVID. They're really just saying, did you die from a heart attack or not? What we do know, however, is that younger people were less likely to protect themselves against COVID than older people, less likely to mask, less likely to take other mitigation measures. And they were also farther back in line to get vaccinated. So they were not protected with vaccination until later in the pandemic. Those might have been a factor here.
Oh, there it is. They're dying of heart attacks because they weren't masked and they hadn't got their 16th booster yet. How about that? Little did we know. We thought something else was going on. But it turns out kids are having heart attacks because they're not wearing their mask. Only if we could have warned them beforehand, we could have saved a lot of lives. But instead, kids are walking around maskless, having heart attacks. Aren't you glad CBS reported on this? Good job, CBS. You're doing a real good job. I'm Major McClain, Talk 99.5 WZRR. Also, catch our podcast Over the Line, available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. See ya, cuz.